Hong Kong Phooey, number one super guy. Hong Kong Phooey, quicker than a human eye. Bow bow do dow do dong dong dang dang do 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 bow wow do 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 do.
I don't know what I was expecting, but I don't think it was that.
Hong Kong Phooey of 1974 Harabara cartoon.
Credit where it's due, I suppose. Okay.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
I apologise if anyone found that slightly racist, but it was a slightly racist cartoon.
That's how things were in the 70s, I guess. I don't know if that makes it okay or not.
I want to know what kind of breed of dog you were, then you'd know if it's racist or not.
It was a slightly Labrador, I think. Well, the plot of the show was he was a janitor, and he just went to a filing cabinet and became a martial arts expert who fought crime.
I'll be honest, I'm not that well versed in Hong Kong Phooey, so...
Okay, the creators of that show must have been high.
I think a lot of the Harabara cartoons were made under drugs.
Well, again, product of the era, I suppose. See Magic Roundabout, for example.
Magic Roundabout, tremendous.
You're going to have to do that one as a theme tune at some point as well now.
Wasn't it the previous weeks?
No, I haven't
Not
done
last
it
week,
yet.
the week before.
I don't recall it. No, I don't think we've done it.
Oh no, it was Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah.
Which
Thomas
we
the
thought
Tank
was
Engine will
magical.
never be remembered. Thomas the Tank Engine will never be forgotten.
It sounded like EastEnders.
It
cross.
was EastEnders, I maintain.
How dare you, sir?
Anyway, welcome to the Button Mash podcast. This week's theme tune, as sung by Michael, was Hong Kong Phooey.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
This week we're also joined by Suneil, who makes a return from a few weeks back.
Hey, you.
And Will, despite last week saying he's totally going to make a regular appearance, has totally not made a regular appearance. So that one lasted a long time. GG, well played us.
Illness.
Yeah,
can you do?
he's not top of the world today, so he's given it a miss, which is fair enough, I think.
Well, we're still waiting for that update on the Alien game we was talking about last week.
There's a few things he's been raving about for the last few weeks, and he was like, I can't wait to talk about them. And then this week he's like, oh yeah, I'm not going to be on to talk about it. I was like, why? You can't leave us hanging like this. There's like 3 games he's been wanting to talk about. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
the
it
suspense
Alien
is building.
Isolation you wanted to go?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, there's Alien Isolation, there's a couple of other things that are out around now-ish that he's been saying for a few weeks. Yeah, I want this coming out soon, I really can't wait to play it and talk about it, it's going to be great, it's going to be fantastic, it's going to be such a good game, and it's like, now he's not here, so maybe next week.
This is always next week.
Yeah.
You have a reason to tune in next week.
Look forward to Will raving about things.
Yep. Shall we start with a very blatant and obvious segue, John?
I was going to finish the intro, to be honest, but... so... which way do you want to take this?
Finish the intro and then I'll do the blatant segue.
Alright, you do that. Okay, welcome to the Button Mash podcast. We talk about video games and video game accessories. We'll be here for somewhere around the next 2 hours. We'll be talking to you about our gaming experiences for the week. We'll be bringing you the latest gaming news, such as it is, as well as some juicy cuts of the latest titles that are going to be released over the next week. Segue?
John, I've got a problem.
What's your problem?
Well, next Saturday, I'm wondering what I should be doing. I mean, is there something you think I could do for a couple of hours? An event that I could attend, maybe?
Well, whereabouts are you based? Are you in the West Yorkshire area by any chance?
Yeah, I'm about a train ride away from Bradford.
That's quite convenient, actually, because there is something going down next Saturday, the 18th of October, in Bradford. Would you like to know more about it?
What time does said event start?
This is the Button Mash 9 event. We need to start getting more creative with these names, but Button Mash 9 will be at the New Bradford Playhouse next Saturday, the 18th of October. Starting at 3 p.m, running till late, we'll have a small independent theatre in the heart of Bradford, and we'll be filling it with games consoles and gaming fun, and creating a big stage with fancy rock band lighting and running rock band, and we'll have tabletop gaming and all sorts. All gaming. If you like gaming, we do gaming. Gaming.
Are we offering gaming by any chance?
No, actually, I don't know where that came from. I think it's something to do with potatoes.
Oh, okay.
Potato party.
Potato.
Dressed in a potato.
Yes. So, cosplay also encouraged. Speaking of dressing up as things, segue.
Yeah,
Segways.
segue within a segue.
If you come dressed as a potato, by the way, I will let you in for free, just by virtue of that's awesome.
Just for reference, the event we are offering is pay as you are, but
Pay as you are.
pay as you want. Pay as you want.
Pay what
That's
you
the
want.
one.
Just pay what you want on the door. If you beat the average, you get to play mini games and win cool prizes and stuff.
Yep. So we encourage you to do it.
Pay as you are. It's
Pay
like,
as you are. Yes.
how much am I worth?
Pay
How
your
much do
pay,
I look like?
pay your
I could
personal
pay?
value.
Oh wow, we're not going to make much.
Depends on what people's egos are like.
Then we're rich.
Yes. If you have a large ego, please turn up and pay us lots of money.
Yep. Please come. Basically, I think we've segued that quite nicely.
So yeah, if you're in the area and you like that kind of thing, please, absolutely come on down. It's gonna be cool. It always is, because we're running it and we're cool.
It's a great chance to come and interact with gamers and have some fun and maybe win a trophy.
Yeah, we've got tournaments and things, and meet like-minded people. It's all a really cool, fun experience.
Plus, who doesn't want to sing Rick Astley in a rock band room? Surely.
Yes, we also have Rick Astley on Rock Band, which is a major, major selling point, I feel. Probably the biggest selling point.
It's the sole reason for coming.
Yeah, I think most of Bradford just turns up just for that.
I'm not going to sing Rick Astley, by the way. I know people would want it, but no.
You can save it for the theme tune for next week.
Yeah.
But he's not really, never really did a TV show.
Well, I think he's got one fairly noteworthy song you might be able to have a go at.
Ooh, what is that song?
I wanted to name something else really stupid just to make this silly joke, but I genuinely don't know any other songs of his, so I can't do it.
I just like it if it turned out Chesney Hawkes was just Rick Astley in disguise, so he had 2 hits.
I don't think he's even got 2.
Oh dear.
He must have done other stuff, but is this the one for Google then? Although I think he's sort of. I think there's going to be an overwhelming, one song that's going to turn up.
You're going to be Rickrolled. You're going to be Rickrolled about 15 times.
I'm going to say the second link is the obvious video. Yes, he is known for his 1987 song "Never Gonna Give You Up." Yes, obviously. What the hell else did he do? Is there anything noteworthy? He released no less than 6 albums, the most recent of which was 2005.
That's pretty recent.
It is actually.
Shall we offer this as a door prize? If you can name another Rick Astley song.
We'll give you a keyring if you can name a Rick Astley single that's not Never Gonna Give You Up.
You have to sing a line of it to prove you're not lying.
Yes, you have to do karaoke.
Shatneroki.
Or yes, you can do a spoken word interpretation if you so wish. We are also very much going to encourage that.
Yep.
Rick Astley discography as a Wikipedia article. What's in that? There must be something else. He released a single
shrugging.
Yeah. He released a single in 2010 called Lights Out.
Under the radar.
And you're not allowed to use that one now because I've given you that one for free, but
the Rick Astley podcast.
Well, we're giving people lots of great offers for the event, lots of extra incentive to come down. So, if you come dressed as a potato, we'll let you in for free, and if you can sing a line of a Rick Astley song that's not Never Gonna Give You Up or Lights Out, we'll give you a freebie on the door. All the offers. So generous.
So damn generous.
Limited offers exclusive only to listeners of the Button Mash podcast because nobody else will know about them. So, super exclusive deals here.
Wink.
Wink, wink, indeed. So there you go, a bit of Rick Astley history. Just to go with your gaming for the week. Because it's obviously what you tuned in for.
Oh dear.
Anyway, shall we... Well, it's been about 10 minutes. Shall we actually get into some games?
Well, yep. That's why we're here.
It is. What have we been playing this week? Gaming experiences for the week. Anybody got anything exciting to talk about?
Mario Kart.
Mario Kart?
8 a.m. Yeah, I just recently purchased a Wii U, and it's wonderful, glorious co-op fun, which I cannot do. Well, I've just been
kind of disintegrated into laughter.
it's got a really good single player anyway. So Mario Kart.
You've got a big household, haven't you? You must be someone you can snag to play some Mario Kart with.
No, there's no one hardly in ever. So
really? Okay.
Well, I've purchases out on weekends, so yep. Everyone's out and doing work and shy. I'm right. Yeah, Mario Kart 8 is having a lot of fun with it. Yep. Just basically trying to unlock like every character at the minute. Think I've nearly done that. I think I've just got one more character to unlock. I think it might be the me character. Because obviously you get all the cast and you get like a me version.
Oh really? Yeah, sure. That seems like with the route Nintendo goes, that'd be like the first one, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But it's actually one of the last ones, or the last one. Yeah,
and, the least interesting one of all of them.
Yeah,
it's like it's just like you've got all of these fantastic major characters throughout the franchises that you know and love and have grown up with, and then there's a really crummy interpretation of what's supposed to be you. And it's like, you know what? I'm going to play Bowser. Thanks.
This is like an actual kind of representation of you. But have you heard of the Xbox One, like the new basketball game that like completely?
NBA 2K15 is it?
2K15.
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
Highly anticipated.
I mean, the most I've actually seen of it is I saw in my... I haven't even seen the gameplay or anything, but in my subscription inbox on YouTube earlier, there's a guy I'm subscribed to. He used to do a bunch of NBA, so new one's out, and he's like, oh, yeah, NBA! And the thumbnail he's used for it is just the face maker, and it's just, Burns victim that's gone through a blender.
Let's get
next gen face recognition technology.
Yeah.
Let's get this straight.
Hilarious.
John. You saw this in your YouTube channel?
No, I saw this on my YouTube subscription feed.
All right, but you do have a YouTube channel.
I do have a YouTube channel.
And where can people find this YouTube channel?
The man is here for one purpose. My YouTube channel is youtube.com/buttonmashempire. And the channel I saw this on was B000100. So, extra plug for him there. So.
Oh, well.
Yeah, that's just like a man with a melted face, which is amazing.
I know, some of them are horrific though. Like, I saw this one that the guy's eyes were like opposite. I mean, like his eyes were where his mouth were. And
I thought you meant like chameleon at first. I was just expecting it like on the temples or something.
Probably aren't that. I've seen like the facial features are in this. There's like a syndrome for it as well, isn't there? Like all the facial features in the center of your face.
I've never heard of that, but okay.
I'm aware of. Yeah, I get where you're going.
Yeah, it'll come to me. Some point.
I think WWE games do the same thing. I think it's the same kind of technology that they're using.
Yeah, presumably it's just taking a picture and trying to map it, roughly speaking, into the right place on a model. But it doesn't sound like. I mean, surely something that worked this poorly would have been caught in like QA. You'd have thought. It's
like when people blatantly just don't have a like, not unintentionally, but like with the putting all the, like lighting in the room and stuff like that. There's like certain requirements for it to be perfect. Well, it has to be perfect for it to.
It sounds like it's a very, very specific requirement, though.
You gotta keep You have to actually literally scan your face into the Kinect sensor. Some people might do it too fast, too slowly. I don't know.
Maybe.
Well, I imagine you have to stand perfectly still if there's something like jarring movement, and then your ears disappear or something.
I have no idea how it works. It'll be something terrifyingly clever, or allegedly clever.
Yeah. Mario Kart. I'm really struggling with the hardest difficulty one. It's like standard Mario Kart difficulty, 50cc, doing 100cc and 150.
Hmm.
Yeah, you get unlocks for the cars as well. You get like a kart unlock. Well, it can be a kart or bike, or like different
Yeah, I remember.
different sorts of
Yeah, they've had
karts
those for a while.
as well as the the wheels that on the like the glider that you we obviously glide when you're in the air. And,
Excuse me? No, I've never seen Mario Kart flying.
Oh, yeah. Well,
This
on
is-
this one,
this is sacrilege.
you basically every time you're in your air, you float instead. You float down to back down to the track.
Is what you're telling me that Mario Kart is 20 years too late ripping off Diddy Kong Racing?
That's true.
Because they had flying and they were
Yeah.
ripping off Mario Kart in the first place.
It's now come full circle.
If Mario Kart gets hovercraft, they are totally ripping off Diddy Kong Racing.
And Diddy Kong's like ripping off Crash Bandicoot. They're all copy each other.
They're all, yes,
Yeah.
inspired very heavily by
yeah, it's
Mario
called
Kart.
inspiration.
Have you seen Luigi's Death Stare yet?
Yeah, like basically every character has a death stare, but Luigi's is like the most noticeable,
Terrifying.
intense death. Yeah, and every bit of your cart, obviously the cart and the wheel and the glider have like their own stats. So
That's
you
cool.
basically have to choose which one's the best track, best car for whichever track it is. Like some of them are more like off-road oriented, so choose the off-road wheels.
Right,
obviously.
okay.
Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty good.
So it seems like they're borrowing elements from the more
Did you come
suppose,
with?
realistic. No, I was thinking more like your actual proper realistic looking ones,
Yeah.
your Forzas and whatnot.
Yeah, to a certain degree. They love like well more kid focused.
Hmm.
Not too technical. Saying
Yeah,
that,
no.
they do have some technical aspects to it. Well, you've got obviously when you do the drifting mechanic, you get like a boost. Yeah, you like two different tiers of boost as you go like do the drift.
Well, how
it
does
was
it
in the
work?
previous.
They've changed the boost mechanics a few times in the game. So how does it work this time?
In the previous one, you basically tap the opposite direction and it like ups a tier faster. And this
Yeah.
one is just gradually the longer duration you drift, the higher tier of boost it is. There's only two different tiers. It's like the blue sparks and the
Ooh,
red.
simplifying it.
You're not a fan of simplifying, John?
Well, the last Mario Kart I probably played was Double Dash on the GameCube. If I'm honest, I think probably played a little bit of the one on the Wii, but not a lot. Double Dash is probably the last one I played any great extent of. That one had a mechanic where you had to turn if you started doing a power slide. You wouldn't get the boost until you'd pulled off a specific combo. You had to like turn into the steer, then away from it, and then back into it before it would let you do a boost at all from the power slide.
Oh,
So it
right,
actually
yeah.
required a little bit of skill to actually pull off the execution to actually get the boost each time.
Yeah.
So there's kind of a knack to going into power slide, wiggling the stick back and forth several times, getting the boost, and then doing it again repeatedly just to get as many boosts as you could out of one corner.
That's right. Yeah.
I like that.
Like Double Dash, where you could have both your characters could have different items. You could have two items instead of one.
And each
this
character had
one-
their own special as well, so you could mix and match which specials
Yeah.
you wanted to have access to.
Yeah, they have dumbed down the game pretty much, but because in this one they have you have a single power up only. You can't have more than one power up. Even if you in the process of using that power up, you cannot pick another power up.
Right.
So you have to either use it or keep a hand of it. But in this one you can actually use a green shell as a shield. If you're like in first place or in any place really, you just like with the green shell, you can just hold the L trigger and it puts it behind you. So like any red
they've
shell.
actually got that.
Yeah.
Because
So,
they used to have that in don't think that was double dash. That is an old feature that I believe was done away with at one point, and I didn't like that. That was kind of a nice tactical use for a lot of items. Although it's probably maybe a little bit overpowered, so maybe that's why they got rid of it.
Yeah.
Because if you got any item,
that's overpowered.
Well, if you got any item, you can just hold it behind you, and it will protect you from almost any attack.
It will help,
except like a blue shell.
Yeah.
It's quite it's powerful, but also kind of tactical, so it does add an extra layer of depth to it. Yeah.
Well, in this one you can either dodge blue shells or you can destroy them using the horn. Like a horn. The horn, not the actual horn on the car. It's an item called the horn.
Oh,
and
okay.
It just makes a sound when you like a red box with a horn on it, and you just use it, and it just destroys basically anything around you in the within like a few seconds. So when the blue shell hits, you just before it hits, it just destroys it.
Right.
So basically, if you end up having the item, you just keep it if you first place and destroys it. I think you're still vulnerable to red shells. I don't know. I haven't really. Let's see.
Do you still get the notification, kind of the heads up that says, "By the way, there's this thing coming from behind about to kill you," so you know when to do it?
Yeah, it does like a few circles around you before it hits you.
Right. I was thinking with the red shell, sometimes it has this little marker bottom of the screen that says, "By the way, red shell incoming. Get ready, do something."
Yeah.
Doing something now.
On the Wii pad, it actually tells you what each person has as well.
Right.
You rarely look at the pad, but it's quite useful for that. Yeah, it's got the map, obviously, your horn, your car horn for some odd reason. There's like a round touch pad simulating the horn in the car. I don't know why, but
right, okay.
As well as the on the left, it shows you what each position everyone is in and what items they have. On the right of the pad, Wii pad, it shows the map, and it's pretty useful. It's good. Look it.
Yeah, that's interesting doing mechanics. Nintendo seems to like that, where it puts stuff on another screen. It's like, that's not that useful, because most of the time you don't want to take your eyes off the screen that you're playing on to see apocryphal information to the side. That's probably not the right word for that.
It can be a bit distracting. Just end up looking at the pad most of the time. That's why I fail.
It's like cooking a meal and trying to juggle at the same time.
We'll go with that. Okay.
Not if the pan's simmering.
Yeah, but that's when you lose your balance on that third ball.
Well, if you drop the ball in the pan, then everything goes wrong.
Not if it's an onion.
Maybe.
No, you either risk making your meal more delicious.
I like my onions whole.
And boiled.
Boiled
onions.
They can be boiled.
Can they? I have never boiled onions. That sounds like a weird thing to do with an onion. But I'm not a chef, so...
Usually you fry them off, then you put them into whatever you're boiling.
I think you need to play more Cooks Delicious.
I don't even own that game, so... I have been playing a game about cooking, though, if you want.
Oh wow! Have you made an inadvertent segue there, John?
I might have done a bit of a segue.
Hey,
So I've been out travelling a bit this week. People who follow my YouTube channel might already be aware of this. I've been over to Germany for a few days this week. So
yeah, Germany.
Yes, indeed.
Apologise to Germany.
You apologise now. Those proud
Viewers
German
of the
people.
co-host.
That wasn't even a view. That was just a poor imitation of their accent.
Yeah.
Was that another one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, as I was saying, mobile games were necessary for me. I wouldn't normally delve too much into mobile stuff terribly often, but if I'm on a plane for a bunch of hours and hanging around airports and stuff, I want something that I can pick up and play on the go.
You didn't have a Game Boy?
I have my DS, which I'm still playing Final Fantasy Tactics Advance 2 on, in case you're interested. I've not played it anywhere near as much as I was a few weeks back when we started doing the podcast, I guess. but there's still some content to be wrung out of that. There's a few missions left to do, 1 or 2 dotted about, so I'm kind of just squeezing the last drops out of that story. But yeah, on Android I did find, just browsing the store, I found one that was called Adventure Bar Story, which was like, what is this? That seems kind of cute and something potentially... It's an RPG about bar management. I was like, okay, this seems like it has some kind of similarities to, what's it called? Reciteer, which is one of the game I always really liked, don't know when that came out, it was a few years back on PC, which is a quirky Japanese game about a small girl who runs an item shop in an RPG, and the adventurers come in and you sell swords and potions and food and things to the adventurers.
Yeah, because I often buy a sword in a restaurant.
Well, this is specifically a restaurant in this story. In Reciteer's case, it was just an item shop. You know, you go through Final Fantasy or whatever, and you stop off at the town, and you'll go into the shop, and you'll upgrade all your equipment, and you buy some food for your party and stuff. It's that principle, but you're the shopkeeper.
Okay, right, I follow.
So all the adventurers come in and you sell the stuff to them, so you had to try and gouge them for as much money as possible and pay off a bunch of bills.
So you're essentially Apu from The Simpsons.
Sort of. In Adventure Bar Story, like I say, it is actually you're running a restaurant. I thought I was expecting there to be a bit more bartending with the name Bar Story. I was thinking sort of Reciteer meets Valhalla, which I've been playing in the last few weeks, which is very heavily focused on bartending. So I was like, oh, this could be like Reciteer meets Valhalla. It's going to be awesome. No, it's fairly similar to Reciteer, to be honest. You can go out into the field and do a bunch of dungeon crawly stuff, which is just a lot of turn-based combat, fighting stuff, level up your party, and you get a lot of food for killing things and finding it in the wild, and you take it back to your restaurant and cook it up and serve it to people in exchange for money. And then, you can use that money to buy more ingredients and better equipment and stuff to go into better areas and go kill more stuff. And absolutely everything in the story seems to revolve around food. There is nothing that doesn't have anything to do with food. It's food all the way. You don't get any XP from fighting enemies. Your team gets XP and levels up by eating food. So when you go out and kill stuff, and then you bring it back and cook up food, you can then sell that items, or you can eat the food yourself and use that to level up your character. So you got a choice there.
A game I might be good at. I'm good at eating.
Indeed. And the story of it is just some big restaurant chain wants to buy your bar and you don't want to sell it. So
is it McDonald's by any chance?
It is not. It's more of a big fancy restaurant. It's more of a Gordon Ramsay kind of character. He's not a sweary, but you know what I mean.
His frog's undercooked.
He's just a big posh famous chef is what I'm getting at. And Gordon Ramsay was the first name that sprung to mind. He's not particularly like Gordon Ramsay. I just can't think of many chefs. So yeah,
not many are coming to my head.
As Delia, but he's not really Delia.
No, really not.
Lenny Hendry.
Just stop.
Lenny Hendry.
What? Is he?
No.
Yeah, he's not a chef, is he?
I don't recall. He could have had a career change. I don't know what he's been doing in recent years.
Are you thinking of Audley Harrison? Oh wait, hang on, he's a boxer.
Oh my god, this is
amazing.
Very, very bad. Very, very bad.
Who's the guy that does Ready
Let's
Steady
just
Cook?
change the subject.
You think Ready Steady Cook? I don't know.
I've forgotten his name.
Ainsley Harriott?
Yeah, that's the one.
That's right. Yeah.
Is that okay? So that's
Lenny Hendry. My mistake. They're both TV. They're both on TV. That's my defense.
Mine started with an A.
And I'm really, really hoping both of you are not steering into the they all look the same territory.
Yeah, that's why I said change.
No.
The views of everybody except me on this podcast are not endorsed by Button Mash. These bloody racists I have to work with.
Oh yeah. Wasn't it you 2 weeks ago that said that it's all very Japanesey?
I will not be quoted on such matters.
Hey, I'm going down. I'm taking you with me.
Right. I'm sure it's all on the record on the internet somewhere.
Alright. Move on. What else have you played?
Moving on, I played a very tiny amount of Forza Horizon 2, which I know you looked at when we were starting and you're like, hang on, did you actually play that? Yes, I
Like,
did.
I'm guessing someone else's. I don't know. Is it a demo?
Yeah, it was a demo basically. Yeah, when passing through Manchester train station on the way to go to Germany, they'd got a huge Xbox booth set up, and I was like, "What the heck is this? This is strange. I wasn't expecting to find this." But yeah, Microsoft had thrown a bunch of money and sent some attractive people to go and try and corral as many people as they could possibly get a hold of into playing some Forza Horizon 2. And I wandered over because I was like, wait, what is this? There's a weird giant Xbox thing that doesn't normally exist in Manchester Piccadilly. This is new. Let's go have a nosy. And the guy was like, hey, do you want to come play Forza Horizon 2? I'm like, I don't really do racing games, mate. Last thing I played was probably some version of Mario Kart, if we're honest. And he's like, no, go on, have a go. It's free. It'll only take a couple of minutes anyway. I was like, I'm really not into racing, but he twisted my arm.
What,
Like,
physically? Get in there.
No. I was not physically assaulted by Microsoft. I will put that on the record.
Not again.
Not after the last time.
No. He did have like this little plastic light up car that was like a keyring or something. He was like, yeah, we'll give you one of these if you play. And I was like, that's not really that compelling. That looks really tacky. It really did.
Refusing free things. No.
Free things that I would then need to lug to Germany and back with me. So can't be bothered with that.
Such a hassle.
Yeah, I was trying to travel light, damn it. I don't need tat from Microsoft burdening my trips around the world.
Microsoft just trying to make friends.
Just trying to sell products.
We're sorry for buying Minecraft. Please trust us.
I did overhear a couple of guys behind me while I was playing it going on and on about how amazing the graphics looked, how gorgeous and absolutely fantastic it was. I was going to say, while I was playing it, I was like, there's no anti-aliasing on this. Does the Xbox One not do anti-aliasing? Why does this look so bad? Everything's really jagged. There's no.
I've noticed a few things like the anti-aliasing and the the depth of perception, the field of view.
Right, yeah. Field of view.
It's like field of view so like narrow. It's just noticeable on like.
Yeah, well, consoles are
next gen.
Consoles have always tended to have a low FOV, just because there's kind of this assumption that you're going to be sat reasonably near to the TV, and it just sort of sets it at what it thinks is an appropriate level, and it's usually fairly low because you're up close to it, so you have a narrow field of view. It fills your vision, and it looks about right for where you are. And yeah, again, that seems like the sort of thing that should be adjustable, because people are all going to play the game the same, which is one of the advantages of the PC format, PC Gaming Master Race and all that.
Not that you have a strong opinion on any of this.
No, not at all. No.
Saying that, some of the Destiny, the maps are quite nice looking, pretty. Like the moon. I was gonna say level, but that's like a section of the game. The moon looks really cool because everything's like animated. Like with the skyboxes and only like certain bits are animated, like maybe some particles in the air and stuff like that. But this you can actually see like the cosmos like moving, and you look at Earth and you look at it and say like, oh, that's the Earth, but it's actually rotating. You can see the rotation if you wait long enough, obviously.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I've not seen Destiny up close and personal yet, to be honest, anyway, so I can't really make any comparisons and judge on it.
Yeah, I've only seen other people play.
Yeah, I mean, anything I've seen has been online, and I can't really make a good judgment there. With the Forza, it's like I was playing it, I could just see it's like, look, the edge of this car, it's all jagged lines. Why is there no anti-aliasing? This is supposed to be next gen technology.
They're using like ridiculously massive TVs as well.
Oh yeah. Obviously, it was all expensive setup.
Yeah, is it the open world one or the like the track based one? I saw one of them supposed to be like. Oh, right.
I don't know.
Probably
I don't know
releasing,
enough
like, an
about
open
racing
world.
games, so there was the only open world racing thing I particularly know is Burnout Paradise, but
Yeah.
Great
I
game,
don't-
that.
it was alright. Wasn't bad, but I'm not a racing person, so yeah. Yeah, this was
What I've seen of it is like I've seen one person just like cut across like an entire field just to skip like some of the track, and you can just basically do
I
that.
went off road a lot, but that was more through incompetence than anything else. I was like, oh, I'm in a field. Well, the field merges with the track a bit further up, so if I keep going straight forward through this field, I'll overtake some people.
Wait a minute, how did I end up in the river?
I did not end up in the river. I mean, and it was the car was looking a bit rough by the end of it, but hey. And I think I finished 6th out of.
That's
I
why you
don't
play
know.
those. Where you play virtual games.
Sorry?
You don't have to suffer the consequences of going through like whole fields and smashing.
Oh, by the
Yeah.
way, I believe congratulations are in order for you, John.
Congratulations are in order.
Yep. You're at a certain level on a certain game now, aren't you?
Oh, right, yes, that thing.
That thing.
That thing.
I'm
Yeah,
trying to
just
help set you up here.
Fair enough, thank you, I appreciate it. I had forgotten you were going to do that, to be honest, so yes. This afternoon I reached level 50 on Wildstar. Woo, level cap, is the
If
top
it was
level.
physically possible, I would be doing
What do you
a
do
slow
now?
clap.
Play the game.
Sorry?
I'm just doesn't matter.
I didn't catch what you said, sorry.
I said, what do you do now? Play the game.
Yes, now I can start playing the game.
Oh fuck references.
Yes. Well, now I got to level 50 and I was like, woo, now I can go do all the things. I'll carry on questing.
Carry on questing.
Yeah, it's like, well,
Is
I haven't
that-
really finished the world story as it is. It kind of doesn't really conclude anywhere. I mean, there's some, actually, to be honest, the level 49 content, there's some really crazy epic stuff that I really enjoyed. The late 40s content actually gets really frigging good in some places. Some nice missions in there. But yeah, it never kind of, I've never wrapped it up and ended it yet. It just kind of, it still keeps going. I'm like, well, I want to finish all this stuff before I go out and do all the crazy epic endgame stuffs. You know?
Just out of interest, is Carry On Questing the follow-up to Carry On Camping or Carry On
Oh
Nurse?
God. Carry on for the modern era, yeah, sure.
It was a softball. I had to take it.
I would be interested. I want to see someone do that. I want to see someone get Sid James to do the voice acting and the rest of the crew. However, many of them are still alive.
I think Sid
Don't know
James
how
is dead, isn't he? No.
See, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how old any of them are because this is going back a little bit now.
Well, it's 1970s, and they weren't exactly young when they were doing it.
Yeah.
were they?
If we can gather up whatever remaining cast of the Carry On films are
And by-
still with us.
And by gather up, we don't mean dig up their graves.
Yeah, no, I don't mean that. Well, unless they're still capable of voice acting when we do so, then I'm okay with it. But yeah, whichever ones are still capable of talking, and get them to do the voices for a machinima production within World of Warcraft or something, and just call it Carry On Questing now. That's what I want to happen.
Nice idea.
Nice idea. Only mild grave robbing required, which is how all the best ideas work.
They'll have to prop their bodies up and upright and just start moving them out.
Just a puppet.
The skeleton, yeah.
Corpse puppets.
Just have some.
That's not distasteful at all. So, what else? What else have we been playing? Anything else for you?
I've been playing recently this afternoon. Gang Beasts.
I don't know that one, so run that one by me.
It's like basically a brawler, like ragdoll physics brawler. It's 8 players though, which is ridiculous. It'd be insanity, just like load of 8 players just versing each other. It's really the ragdoll's like blatant ragdoll physics. It's quite cool. I like it. I can't really explain what kind of. It's just like a brawler. You've got like a punch, left and right is your shoulder buttons, and you can like when you hold the punch button, you can grab them, so you like end up putting them in arm locks, and you knock. They can take some beating, but then they pass out, and you can basically throw them out of rings or like hazardous like structures. There's like an incinerator level. It's got like obviously fire, like a fire pit where you can just like knock them out, pick them up, and throw them into it.
Nice. That sounds. Yeah, that sounds like a nice, tasteful game. You can punch people unconscious and throw them in an incinerator.
Yeah,
They probably deserved it.
Wow.
it's quite silly though. It's like I like how silly it's quite, because you've got like quite a few levels in the it's early access at the minute. Which I love those games. those early access games.
Yeah, it can be a bit hit and miss though.
Yeah, obviously. Well, it's promising at the minute for they develop it a bit more.
That's the thing. I think you need with some of them. You need to kind of like, what direction is it going, and what are they doing with it? Because I mean, obviously, a few weeks back, I played Salt, which is the piratey kind of open world sandbox thing. I was like, I love the idea, but I don't know where you're going with it, and I don't know if I want to throw money at it right now based on the future potential for it, because the future potential for it might not be what you actually make of it. So, can be a little bit hesitant in some cases.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
It's a complete game. It's not that, obviously it hasn't got that intense like gameplay mechanics. Just a few buttons, just co-op fun really.
Yeah,
Fair
fair
co-op
enough.
multiplayer fun.
Yeah, if it's something fairly simple like that, there's considerably less risk in sort of putting down money for it. So something like speedrunners as well, I think fits well into that kind of category. It's like, look, it's a fairly solid product even out the gates. All they're going to do is add more characters and more levels and a bit more polish to it, really. It's going to be much the same, so yeah. That's the sort of thing you don't feel quite so bad about buying into in early access. There's less risk there.
Yeah, and there's the price as well. It
Depends how they're doing it. I mean, some devs charge more for early access, and then some devs charge less. So it depends who you're dealing with.
You can get out. You can obviously get a lot of hours from something like this game as well. Can be a lot of fun with you people.
All right.
Well, I'll have it at the event. If you want to try it out.
All right. Cool. Well, there we go. That's something else to come down to the event for next Saturday, the 18th of October, at the New Bradford Playhouse in Little Germany.
I'm proud of you. You've mastered the art of the segue.
My job here is no longer needed.
Have I been fired?
We have a better segue machine than you.
Good luck singing the intro.
No, come back. We need you.
Yeah.
I've also been playing Try, which I think got... I was wanting to do a review of it this week, but then Germany happened, so I didn't actually get around to do that. So I'll have a review for this one up tomorrow, I think. But Try by Rat King Entertainment. I've kind of followed Rat King on Twitter for quite some time after a project they did a couple of years back now. And so I've kind of seen bits of Try from time to time, and their game came out this week, and I think they changed the name of the game on launch day. It's up to now just been called Try, and then on the day of launch, suddenly it's in my library, it now says Try, of Friendship and Madness. I was like, I don't think it was called that yesterday, I'm not certain.
Well, new name rolls off the tongue.
Well, then I saw later in the day on Twitter they'd posted a picture that said they'd posted the logo of the game, and then literally just pasted the words in white text underneath Try of Friendship and Madness. It's like, yes, we've changed the title of our game because we think it'll be better. We'll get better search results, better search rankings if it's got a title. Then I don't know quite what the issue was with just calling it Try. Maybe it's too simple or something, but it's
probably like some like solicitor company name or something.
You just get loads of rugby player pictures.
Same name.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's TRI as in triangle. Triangles are a recurring thing in it. And I don't know what happens if you type TRI in. To be fair, they actually rank pretty high on Google for try. They are the 4th result, so they're not, it can't be a Google issue particularly. I think it sounded like they were more concerned about Steam, but at the same time, I'm not sure why that would be a big deal on Steam either. I mean, Steam's probably pretty good about finding that sort of thing, I'd have thought.
It looks pretty
Like
abstract, kind of.
It's a first-person puzzle thing. It's not wildly dissimilar to something like Portal, to be honest. So you have the ability to build triangles wherever you want in the world. Each point of the triangle has to be sort of attached to a surface, though, and so you put the points on the surface and you create platforms and ramps and things, and then later you can actually walk up walls as long as you're stood on the triangles. As long as you're stood on a triangle, you can carry on walking up walls and round corners and surfaces, and some of the bits are a bit awkward, and I don't know, that kind of thing just appeals to me because I'm the sort of person who has to climb on everything in a game. So some of the early levels where there's like they'll have a huge chamber, and then up top there'll be like a tiny little escape hatch that's not. I think they just intended to just like let light in. It's like, oh, this is how the light gets into the room. It's open to the sky. I'm like, I'm getting up there. You're not supposed to get up there, but I'm getting up there. I'm going to find a way.
So you can like go on top of your like trap on the light beams over there, like jump on. Use it as a path.
On the triangle, yeah, the triangles, the tries that you create, yeah, they are platforms that you can stand on, yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, I just kind of built, like, so this was before you could actually walk up the walls as well. This was the level before that, so I just built a stairway stuck to walls and things, and everything I could find to stick things to. I was stuck by platforms all the way up the wall, and it's like, yep, I'm creating basically a stairway to heaven, as it were. And it probably took me like half an hour. I finally got out top of this level. It was such a ridiculous thing. It was like, this is so cool. I managed to make it all the way up here. I bet they never expected anybody to make it up there. Climbed out the top, and they've just got I suppose what you'd call a kill wall. As a moment you go out there, it's just like, oh, you've fallen out the level. Let's teleport you back down to the ground floor. It's like, no! I just got out. Don't do this to me.
Troll.
Disappointed.
In-game troll.
The dream is over.
Clearly they gave some consideration to the fact that some dickhead like me would obviously try and do that kind of thing. So it's like, look, if anybody comes up here, just treat it as though they've fallen out of the level. So, but so, at the same time, a little disappointing. I was hoping they wouldn't have given any consideration to that. I was hoping they'd have just gone, nobody's going to get up there, let's not bother with that. And I could have gotten out of the level.
So you're just imagining them in like a room, just scoffing, going, nobody's stupid enough to try this.
Basically, yes.
Oh dear.
I was envisioning them going, yes, no idiot would try and climb up this tower. That's ridiculous. Who would do that? We don't even think it's doable. Yes, it is. I'm going to have a go.
And just all wearing tweed jackets and smoking cigars, going, no.
Yeah, something like that. They are a German team as well, so I don't know how big the Germans are into tweed. It's a very German week this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. I also play a little bit of Little Inferno on my phone. Because I can now, because that's awesome.
Oh, Inferno.
I got a shiny new phone, and so it's like, oh, hang on, I got Little Inferno in the Humble Bundle at some stage. Yes, I'm going to spend most of this plane flight burning things.
But you got more than one copy.
Hmm?
And they released it in like Humble Bundles a few times, so...
Probably. I don't know when I picked it up. I picked it up at some stage, and yeah, it was just like, would you like to install Little Inferno? I was like, yeah, okay, I can go for that. Yeah, let's have that, sure. That's cool. It's just a game about a fireplace in which you throw lots of things and burn them all up. Yeah, I'm okay with this. Fire is fun.
Pyromaniac game.
Have you used to the bottom of my toaster?
It's like burning things in real life.
Well, I played it on my YouTube channel like very close to 2 years ago now, and it was fun then. I was like, I hadn't played it since. So it was like, you know what, I could go for this again. That was a pretty cool game. It's not the same developers who made World of Goo, but I think they got the same artist because the art style is identical to World of Goo, so it's adorable as well, and sometimes slightly freaky. Actually, quite often quite freaky. Yeah, it's a bit odd, but yeah, it's about burning things, and I enjoy burning things, so that worked out okay for me. Had a few hours of that.
Good.
Michael!
John.
How have you been doing in Football Manager this week?
I have indeed.
You have indeed been doing.
Yes.
That's where we're
Sorry,
going to
I
leave
was just seeing I was seeing how awkward we could make this.
Oh, well, very is apparently the answer.
Yep, I'm 3 games in.
3 games in.
We've got a win, a draw, and a loss.
Cool. Covering all bases then.
Yep. So it was 2-0, 1-1, 4-1.
Ouch. Who's the 4-1?
Was Liverpool.
Okay, so
The Scousers.
it wasn't someone terribly humiliating to lose to.
Yeah, the Scousers got me.
Right.
Oh, I bet some racism again.
You know,
Can you be racist against Scousers? Are they a race?
Oh, well.
I think it depends if I do like the Harry Enfield impersonation,
Right.
which I won't.
So how's your league prospects?
Well, my aim is not to get relegated. So
Good aim.
I've got 4 points off 3 games, so that's not bad. I'm about 15th in the league.
How many are in a league?
20.
I know a lot about football.
I can tell.
And what positions get relegated?
It's the bottom 3.
Bottom 3. So you need to get 17th or higher.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
It's doable.
Cool.
Well,
I wish
yeah.
you all the best of luck.
Thank you. I will keep you updated.
Good. I look forward to it.
I will send you weekly emails.
Well, I presume you'll send me weekly podcasts.
That too.
Excellent. Is that are we kind of running out of things for the week then? Should we move on to other stuffs?
I think we better move on to gaming news.
Alright, well, we'll do that after the break, as we usually do. We shall take a step away for a moment, take a brief moment away, and we'll
To
be right
reflect
back.
on how it's going.
Yes, to reflect on how it's going. And we shall be right back after these words from our sponsors.
Our sponsors have words. But a Mash podcast is back.
Welcome back! Welcome back to Button Mash Podcast. We have gaming news for you!
And now some gaming news.
I don't know what we'd do without your singing. I really don't.
Very wispy.
Probably get more views on YouTube.
You should start your own channel where you just sing things.
Just do segues into singing.
Actually, tell you what, that actually might not be the worst way in the world to do some Shatneroki. You do the Shatneroki channel.
Shall we just set this up and see if we can make PewDiePie money?
I reckon we could get a shout out from William Shatner on Twitter, if nothing else.
Or a lawsuit from William Shatner. It's going to be one of the two.
One of the two. He seems like a pretty chill dude. I think he'd be up for it. I think he'd be flattered.
Singing the worst tone of Shatner voice, and he'll sue you for right.
It's not
for
about
likeness.
It's not about imitating William Shatner. It's about the style of music.
Oh yeah.
We're not trying to.
I'm not too familiar with music.
We're not trying to do a William Shatner sound-alike here. We're just singing it in the style of William Shatner, a spoken word rendition, basically.
I'm down with the sickness.
Basically, yeah.
I'm
never going to give you up. I'm never going to let you down.
I've actually, I actually don't know how Shatner.
I am.
Have you not? We're gonna have to educate you.
I haven't seen the original Star Wars. I've only seen like from Generations.
No, really.
I might have seen like the ridiculous fight scene with someone on.
To begin with a K.
Yeah. Some weird person dressed up in a crocodile costume. I don't know.
I'm not that well versed on his Star Trek stuff anyway, but I'm very familiar with his musical work, and he's a legend in the musical genre.
Yep.
So
you sing like he acts, I mean.
Yes, I would say yes on that one.
Because like some people lose the accent, like when they start singing, he doesn't. The way he speaks, it's more like how it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it's delivered in a William Shatner manner. Yes, he just does a spoken words
He
version.
emphasizes each word.
Yeah.
I'm a rocket man.
Yes, look up on YouTube, and this is not just for you. This is for everybody listening at home. Do it after the podcast, by the way. Look up on YouTube William Shatner
Just get
Rocket
that in.
Man.
Yes, it is. It's a tremendous journey to go on. Watching Shatner do Rocket Man.
So there we go. That's the next Button Mash project. Me and Michael are going to start up a YouTube channel called Button Mash. Not Button Mash. It won't be Button Mash. It'll just be youtube.com/Shatneroki. Is that taken? Can we find out if that's taken?
Probably not.
Right, somebody search this now.
I am on it. I am on it.
You can
Like a cardboard.
you can always
Copyright.
add a few X's before and after. X.
That page does not exist. Sweet. We can have it.
Right, get that now.
We need to get that registered as soon as we're done here, before anybody else can get that. It's youtube.com/Shatneroki. It's a new thing.
Yep, I'm game if you are.
I'm game. I'm totally game. Sounds awesome.
Yeah, I'm game.
We're gonna make retirement money.
We're gonna make something. I don't know what it is.
Music, sweet music.
Sweet music.
Sweet music, baby.
Is there music? I suppose we can discuss the logistics of it later. I'm just wondering how we go about doing it. I suppose we would need to find... I suppose if we're using people's music, we need like the karaoke versions of them to sing along to, and then surely that's going to cause all sorts of issues on YouTube, so... I don't know.
Have we started the news segment yet?
Yes, this is the new segment.
I was just really confused then. I was like...
Do you just think we hadn't started recording or something?
Yeah, that's the thing, yeah. I remember you saying if we started recording or not.
Yeah, we're recording. Yeah, we just got very, very derailed.
Just assume this is just a general chat.
I don't see any problem with this, to be honest.
Come on then.
Okay.
Gaming news.
Let's actually do something, right?
Do you want me to do the jingle again?
Yes, let's do that, just so people know where we're at.
Yeah.
Gaming news.
I don't think that was the same jingle.
I changed it.
My God. So we got one I've only listed on our news thing just because it's an I told you so, because I said I did tell you so, which is Minecraft for Windows Phone has been announced. I told you so.
I kind of suspected this was going to happen.
I did say a few weeks back when it was like, oh, Microsoft have bought Minecraft. It's like, first thing they're going to do is develop it for Windows Edition, because that's the one thing Mojang have said, Mojang, whatever it is, have said several times, like, look, the platform's not big enough, not enough people are using Windows Phone, there's no point us developing for Windows Phone because there's not enough people using it to make it worthwhile, so we're not going to bother. That was obviously going to change the moment Microsoft got their hooks into it. They're like, you're going to make it whether you like it or not.
Bill Gates has decided that enough people are using it.
In the news, 100 million new phones have just been sold.
But given that it's
As
already
a result.
it's already on every other format. If you were that into
exactly.
Minecraft, you wouldn't go out of your way to buy a Windows phone just to
exactly.
play Minecraft on it, because it's like the last format to get it. I believe they also recently announced the Vita version, but that's again
Unless,
it's another minority one.
Got some exclusive content or anything, or is it just simple port? Like,
Vita, I'm not sure which version it's going to be. I suspect it would be Pocket Edition, but I don't know for certain. Obviously, the Windows Phone one is Pocket Edition, which also I didn't realise until I was doing something on Minecraft PC earlier in the week, and I ended up having to look something up on the wiki, as you do, because there's so much bloody shit in that game these days. I was like, oh, let me just look up this. It was something about light levels or something. I stumbled across blocks I'd never heard of. I was like, what the hell are these? There's entirely weird and new things. It was like glowing obsidian or something. I was like, what the hell is glowing obsidian? How the hell do you get that? It's like, it turns out there is actually... there's actually exclusive content in the Pocket Edition that isn't in the other versions, which I didn't know about.
Yeah.
Which, I mean... I've sort of mocked other versions for a long time, saying, oh, every other version's way behind the PC version. The PC version gets everything first. Ha ha ha, PC Gaming Master Race, etc.
again.
But yeah, I didn't realize there's actually. I don't know what the point of it. It doesn't sound like it's particularly elaborate or interesting content that really adds a whole lot to the game. But there is genuinely stuff in the Pocket Edition that isn't in the other versions, which is kind of odd. I didn't know that.
I
more
originally
you know.
thought the Pocket Edition was just like creative mode only, or well, they didn't have that many blocks in it from what
I think it was like that at launch, but like with all the other ones, they keep developing it. I think they
Oh,
keep adding stuff
yeah.
to it. But
That's
yeah,
cool, I guess.
I can't imagine. I mean, having played around with the creative mode and seen how, well, to be quite frank, how poorly that works, I
Yeah.
don't feel like that would make for a very good survival mode just because of how unwieldy it is to play.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen like a YouTube video of this guy using the Pocket Edition Minecraft on like a probably like a 2 inch by 2 inch screen, like LED screen. I'm like, what the hell? Because they've released the new like watches, like Android based watches, or like
Yeah,
whatever,
smartwatches. Yeah.
smartwatches. So how the hell are you supposed to place blocks or even select blocks? Because it's like lower third.
I have
way
no
select-
idea. It's all a bit
Weird.
strange. Yeah.
Supposed to play with your finger as well. You might have to have like a stylus.
Well, it's an issue that even, to be honest, something like Adventure Bar Story had in. I think it's common to a lot of mobile titles that try to take older existing genres and mechanics from games that already exist and trying to implement them into basically an input format that is drastically different to anything that's gone previously. Touchscreens don't work the same way as a keyboard and mouse or a controller. They can't by design. So when you start trying to put the controls on the screen, like the D-pad to move around in fact, Adventure Bar Story has the D-pad, so does Minecraft Pocket Edition. And it's like, there's no actual tactile feedback there, which makes it really awkward to use.
Some of them, I think the emulator for the Android do like a vibrate like upon touch, but you need an actual button. I cannot deal with that at all. Even with a directional, like D-pad, like it's got like a holographic D-pad on it.
Yeah.
But still,
I had heard somewhere for a few years back, I'm sure at this point, someone working on actual sort of haptic technology, which I guess means the screen is very slightly flexible or something. It sounds like it's very similar to the way Valve are doing their controllers, in so far as the screen can move and raise up slightly, so that when you push it where there's a button, that button can raise up and you get a little bit of actual feedback. I mean, I know I've spoken to people about the Steam controller before, and they're like, doesn't it just rumble when you're all this? Like, not really. The whole point of it is there are hundreds and hundreds of tiny little, almost pistons underneath this flexible surface, and wherever you touch it, it raises it in that part, is kind of, I think, how it's supposed to work. It sounds weird as all hell, but I think it could be the future. Could be, maybe.
It's the future.
The future's here. The future's on the Button Mash podcast.
I like the idea of like a trackpad, like on a controller.
It's
a simulator mouse, kind of.
As I say, I haven't had a chance to try it, and it was for first-person shooter. It's awkward as all hell. I tried it for Drunken Robot Pornography. It's just weird to use that.
You said it was
Steam
like
controller.
really sensitive or something.
It is, yeah. The guys who were developing it at Deja Bar, they were like, once you get the hang of it, it's a really good format. It's a fantastic format to work with, but there's a considerable amount of readjusting your brain when you pick it up just to actually get to grips with the fact that it's so drastically different to how you're used to with the sticks and whatnot.
Yeah.
You just have to rewire your brain to actually, firstly, not go crazy with this and use a really, really light touch, and secondly, just to how it freaking works, because it's just weird.
In a way, it's probably better for it to be more sensitive than the opposite.
Potentially, yeah.
Because like with the Xbox and PS, PlayStation controllers, they've got like accessories that make it more sensitive.
Oh, you mean like those things that you stick on the sticks to make them longer, so that you got more control?
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah, they make the controller look ridiculous, but I don't understand how that actually makes more sense, because you've got more control.
Yeah, you got more leverage over the pivot point, I suppose, so you can have finer grained control. Oh no, I can't be. I always turn the sensitivity down on my controller anyway, because mine tends to like do stuff of its own accord. Like if I'm playing a platformer, I can let go of the controller and my character will just like slowly walk to the right, and it's like there's a little bit of it's not. I don't think the stick quite centers exactly right, and then it still picks up the tiny bit of motion. It's like I have to turn the sensitivity down just so that my characters don't just like wander around on their own when I'm playing games and stuff. And it's like I need controller sensitivity adjustment to be able to use my controller because it's nuts. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
So, PC Gaming Master Race once again. Just saying.
The views of the Button Mash host.
The views of the Button Mash host are gospel, god damn it.
Oh, dear. Moving swiftly on.
Moving swiftly on, there's also official Nintendo magazine is to be no more. It's going to be closing in the near future, which they've obviously been around for some considerable time. So that's kind of an old gaming magazine institution. I don't know.
Well, everything's just moving online anyway, so...
It's moving on of technology. They've been around since 2002. I expected that to be earlier than that, actually.
I thought it'd be a 90s thing.
I thought it would be as well, actually. I guess... Was there a different one before that? I'm sure I feel like there have been official Nintendo magazine type things around for some considerable time. But I don't know.
Well, there you go. Magazines. Art.
Yeah, it was. I remember watching a video of this guy picking up a Nintendo. Well, he has them delivered. Like in one of the releases, it's like 25 things. Cool. It's like in like commas, cool things to do with your Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
And like 5 of them was or 5 of them on the list is like already things that you have to like. It's like a mandatory stuff to do.
Right.
Like create a Nintendo ID. It's like
that's a cool thing. I can't wait to get onto the Wii just to be able to set up my Nintendo ID. That's a selling point.
That's the sole reason you buy it.
Yeah.
One of them was like wander around like on the Miiverse, just look at your Mii.
Oh right, yeah.
Take some time to look at your Mii.
The first thing you do with the game because there's nothing else to do with it.
Yeah. It was quite a while back, so it's like on release. So.
With award-winning journalism like that, I wonder why they've gone.
I wonder why they stopped them. Yeah.
Official magazines have always seemed a bit weird to me because it's like, well, you're going to be biased, aren't you? I can't expect any unbiased reviews out of you. It's like if you say, "Hey, the new Mario Kart's coming out,"
yeah, because it's the run.
It's not going to get anything less than a 10 out of 10, is it?
Well, actually, I don't like Mario.
Another fantastic game by us.
Yeah, it's like
we're awesome.
Go us, we're great, aren't we the best guys?
Meanwhile, those bastards at Sony.
You don't listen to them.
Maybe that's why they've gone out of business.
Yeah.
Or it could be the fact that nobody uses paper anymore.
Yeah, the kids, they're not down with it.
Kids are not down with paper. You heard it here first.
We try to educate some people.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, they're not the first magazine. They probably won't be the last. I mean,
it's like you normally have like. Remember in like the old magazines, you used to have like a cheat segment, like.
Oh
then there were more useful back then. So these are like you kind of
because they actually added cheats to the game. Then now they'll just sell you it as DLC.
Yeah. And the fact that we have the internet's more accessible now. So.
Plus, yes, we have game FAQs and whatever else. God knows, I only use game FAQs if I need to figure something out. Unless it's a really obscure Flash game. Actually, Jay's Games is really good for doing walkthroughs of the most obscure shit in the world. It's like, nobody else but me has ever played this game. Jay's Games has the full walkthrough. We're like, you're really dedicated to this? Wow.
It must take forever to do that.
I'm doing like a small violin tribute to Nintendo Magazine now.
Go on then.
New, 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 new. Thank you.
It's like that scene from Reservoir Dogs.
I don't think I've seen Reservoir Dogs, so I don't know.
I'm just thinking of the thing
Steve
where they're
Buscemi
walking.
plays that smallest violin for the.
Oh yeah,
for the-
okay, now. I remember this now.
Okay then. So that's just another magazine gone the way of the dodo. I mean, obviously it's official Nintendo stuff, so they will, as it's saying, they said on the statement, they are going to continue to do other communication channels. They've got like their newsletters and social media and etc. 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 You can still find out Nintendo news. Official Nintendo magazine was not the only source in the world for Nintendo news.
Well,
Have they
there's one
just,
really
like-
dedicated
Have
Nintendo
they
fan
just
to
like
talking.
gone? Yeah, sorry.
Oh, sorry, you go.
I'm
for
just saying, have they just gone completely digital? Because they went out E3 like this year as well, weren't they? They were like the online.
Oh
E3
yeah,
one.
they did the massive Twitch stream, didn't they? For
Yeah.
E3? Yeah, that was kind of cool. That was a neat approach to doing it. So
Must have saved them quite a lot.
probably, yeah.
Unless they've
doubt.
all digitized and they cannot return.
At the same time, Nintendo does seem to do a lot of really backwards things. Like occasionally they'll do something that's like, "Oh, that's really progressive and innovative and new," and then other times they'll just be like, "Yes, you're not allowed to do gay marriage in this game about relationships." And like, Nintendo, what?
New 3DS.
Hello,
New slightly
Nintendo.
more
It's 2014.
Yeah. Buy this new handheld.
Oh yes, there's that as well.
Slightly more powerful. You can't play the older games.
Same console as the last one, except you can't play the new games on the old console. Well, it's not the same console then, is it? That's stupid. It's actually Nintendo in that sort of sense. Nintendo's handheld consoles are almost closer to like a tablet at that point. They're very very good analogies to tablets or mobile phones or what have you. It's like you actually need to check the specs on it at this point just to make sure you've got it's good enough to actually play the games.
Yeah.
So that's that. I thought perhaps we might have had some old veterans who might shed a tear over Nintendo magazine. I don't know. I'm sure I used to read magazines, but I don't know what I read back in the day.
Obviously not Nintendo because they went out of
I
business.
feel like it might have been a Nintendo magazine of some sort, but I don't know. It's been a long time since I ever bought anything paper because, hello, we have the internet. These things are cheaper.
The more you know.
Educating people with common knowledge right across the board here.
No, it's like if it's in paper now, it's like either like a collectible or like a guide of some sort. You know, like I mean, like the official guides,
Yeah.
like with the art books as well.
Yeah, I think often in many cases it seems to be like they do sort of add a load of artwork and stuff to guides just to try and incentivize people to actually buy them at all because,
Yeah,
all the
it's
information
in
that's in it, that's on YouTube, or Game FAQs, or JA's Games, or anything. It's all out there, so yeah. I mean, when I was working at Game, even then it was like, yes, we really want you to try and sell people game guides, and I was like, what are you talking about, guys? This was 2000 and... when would this have been? 2010, I guess? I was like, guys, it's 2010. You can't sell people a book with all the answers to the game in 2010. Internet, guys, have you heard of it?
You just have to approach people like there is no internet. Guess you know.
Selling to a minority, but unfortunately that's what they based half of their business around, so perhaps it's a little surprise that they're not still around, so there you go.
Probably easy to sell to an older person, maybe.
Tears will be shed.
I don't think a great many tears were shed over the loss of game or whatnot. Certainly not from me, anyway.
Ugh.
That kind of business model was, I mean, I don't know, we want to get into it now, but it was kind of quite harmful to the industry as a whole anyway, just the way they would hold developers ransom and say, look, we won't sell your game unless you give us exclusive DLC that only we get to sell to people. And
Yeah.
like, that's a really dirty thing to do. Don't like that. Don't like that at all. Anyway, that's a rant for another day and has been done at great length by better men than I in the past. So, look it up. I can tell you Total Biscuit did a huge video on that once as well, so there's that out there. The other noteworthy thing that caught my attention was, as regards further Xbox stuff, is Xbox indie games. They've kind of, obviously with the Xbox One, they've got the independent development, the Xbox ID thing, and they've got apparently there's a clause in there which is launch parity, which basically means what they're insisting developers do is that if you want to launch your game on Xbox, it needs to launch on Xbox at the exact same time as it launches on every other platform. Otherwise, they won't let you sell it on Xbox.
Which sounds fair.
Well, their statement, if you check out the article that I have linked for you guys, is the quote that they've said is, "Oh, we want all of our Xbox players to feel like VIPs. We want them to be a first-class citizen," is the word they use. Yeah, and
First-class citizen.
Yeah, it's all a bit wanky, to be honest. Xbox, jerking themselves off a bit there.
Phil Spencer.
Yeah, so yeah, we want everyone who has an Xbox to feel like a first-class citizen when a game launches, and we don't want people to have to say, "Oh, I'll just wait for it to go on Xbox later when it comes out down the line." We want people to have that there. They obviously spin it as a positive thing. It's like, "Oh, but this is going to be positive for gamers." No, it's going to be positive for you and bad for developers. It really makes bugger all difference to gamers, other than perhaps, actually, it's probably worse for gamers if you consider somebody who was originally developing for PC and was hoping to launch at Xbox further down the line. That developer now has to drop everything and say, shit, we can't launch on PC until we've got an Xbox port ready, so now we need to delay the launch until we've got an Xbox version ready so that we can actually sell it on Xbox at all. If you are even considering doing Xbox development at this point and you're not already developing for Xbox as you're the first console, the first thing you're developing it around, now suddenly you have to drop everything and do that port before you can even launch your game. So I feel like that would hurt development.
Yeah. And
yeah, it's the only person that benefits out of this is Microsoft, because it's almost holding them to ransom by that. It's trying to push people to develop for Xbox first, because I guess if they're saying, okay, the only way you can develop for Xbox is if we have it at the same time as everyone else, there's then an incentive to develop for Xbox before any other platform, which ultimately means actually what we're going to see is a lot of PC ports from Xbox or PS4 ports from Xbox, which is not great, I don't think. I mean, obviously a lot of games will and are and frequently are developed for other platforms, and now developers are being forced by I nearly said Nintendo there, Xbox
Nintendo
to develop in a manner and a strategy that is not in their interests or does not work well for them. It doesn't seem like a very positive thing to me, so...
Yeah. I think you've made a valid, good point there.
It's Xbox, Microsoft and Xbox, they just do a lot of sucky things. Doing another
It's a pity that seem to be taking over the gaming world, though.
Well, they're doing alright. I don't think they're necessarily... I don't know, I feel like the PC market is extremely strong at the minute. I mean, we look at how successful Steam is doing right now.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, there's the fantastic quotes when shortly after the Xbone launch, they were like, "Oh, look how many people we've got on Xbox playing Xbone already." In the first month or so, they had massive sales figures, and someone
Saw that.
Yeah, someone went to Gabe Newell and was like, what about your Steambox platform? Are you concerned about the Xbox sales figure? And they were like, no, not really. We've already got like 70 million people using our platform, so we're really not that bothered. And he was like, that's awesome. Yes, there's a ridiculous number of people using Steam, and the PC platform is stronger than ever, I would say.
Yeah, which is good.
I just feel like it could be awkward. I mean... So yeah,
people use like the PC versions of games for like, like if, they just to test them out, recommendations like with the curator stuff. And we like if releases for the Xbox, there's no, other than actually reviewing it, there's no way of actually documenting if the game's good or not. I don't know, possibly that thing as well.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, there is a quote at the bottom of this article that just kind of... It's almost like they sort of start to address the issue and then sort of turn it back into just Microsoft spin, which is... Spencer told the podcast he has many friends who run independent studios, and he understands they just can't get both games done at the same time. All 3 games, all 4 games, depending on how many platforms they're supporting. So I always just say, let's have a conversation. I don't want somebody to come in and just think I'm going to do a special game on one platform, I'll get to Xbox when I get to it. I don't think that's right. Which is like, that's That doesn't address the issue. You
skirted around it quite nicely.
You've raised the issue and then ignored the issue. That's not dealing with the issue in the slightest. You're just like, yes, this is a problem, but fuck those guys. Is basically what they've said.
It's kind of like said, well, this is the problem. Here is the solution. Look at my hands.
It's like you said, no, you've got a problem with the way we need you to work for us. The solution is you just fucking work for us.
Then he slapped him.
And probably slapped him, yes. We are speculating at this point, we should stress. I don't believe Phil Spencer actually went around slapping indie devs.
The views of the Button Mash podcast host and co-host.
Indeed.
I guess we'll have to see. It's wait and see on how this one plays out.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, given Microsoft's history over the last year or so regarding most of their other very, very unpopular decisions, they've kind of tended to have done a bit of a flip-flop when they've sort of been called out on them. I mean, see the all-seeing eye of Sauron that you're forced to have. Suddenly, everyone was like, no, I don't want an all-seeing eye of Sauron attached to my TV all the time. Can we not have the all-seeing eye of Sauron? And then they were actually like, all right, fine, that's fine. What about if we have to have it permanently switched on? Is that okay? No. Oh, guys. So yeah, they've reversed a lot of unpopular decisions. So maybe
they'll do the same. Yeah, I'm guessing.
The thing is, I feel like this is a decision that less publicly affects the user. It will, as I've already stated, I think it will ultimately affect the user, but in a much less visible way. You won't be able to see this happening because it's all behind the scenes kind of thing. I think ultimately it will stifle development, slow development, and produce lower quality titles, potentially. So I don't think that necessarily helps development in the slightest. But that's not something the end user is ever going to see. And so, it might be there might be less uproar about it. I think if anybody needs to make a stand on this, it's going to have to be the developers themselves, the industry themselves have to then stand up to Microsoft and say, no, we're not going to play by your rules. I would absolutely love to see a load of people stand up and say, you know what, if it's Microsoft first or no Microsoft at all, nuts to you guys, let's go launch it on Steam.
PS4.
Or PS4, yeah. I would love to see that happening, just because that would be hilarious, to be honest. That would be good.
You don't watch comedies on TV, do you? You just wait for gaming developments to rise up.
Gaming drama is best drama.
Phil Spencer, no. You could develop for our console after whenever or never.
I shall laugh uproariously at that.
We did say that, but not in the way you thought.
Yeah. We've decided upon reflection that actually maybe we won't butt fuck you all so much.
The statement might not be in that wording.
I'm paraphrasing, but it's pretty much what they've already had to say twice already.
Yeah,
anyway.
Well, with indie games at the minute for the Xbox, there weren't that many in the first place. I remember just going through like the market arcade. What is it? The marketplace.
Was the arcade. I don't know what they call it these days.
XBLL.
Expla.
Yeah.
Well, previously
arcade,
to that they had the indie games section as well, which was Xplig. Which was terrible. There was actually I played one or two interesting games and things that have been ported from it that were not awful, but it was such a bad market. It was thousands and thousands. It's so easy to publish on and put really bad stuff out, so everybody did. And the amount of Minecraft clones, Jesus, that was just dire.
Ridiculous.
It was not a good market. I hope it's a bit cleaner these days, but I don't know. I have not used a Xbox product. Well, no, I've not been subscribed to an Xbox product in over a year at this stage, so I've been clean.
There's some good, decent ones like that one I mentioned last time, that Outrun, the Ubisoft one. Outrun, like platformer game.
Alright.
Yeah, that came to Xbox a few more. Played it with Johnny, and well, the only bad thing about it was the netcode for it. It was like we couldn't even cooperate like at all because it just kept them stopping and starting and catching up.
Oh right. Oh,
it was
okay.
Really bad.
Fair
really
enough.
Bad for that. I don't know if it's an issue with the console. Or definitely worth the console. I mean the programming, because every other game was fine, but
How strange.
just it's yeah, I noticed that with a few arcade games on Xbox as well.
Well, I suspect people who are sort of publishing from their bedrooms, they're not always going to be the world's greatest skill programmers. They
Yeah,
can't,
'cause,
they
like,
can't all be, so unfortunately some
arcade,
duffers are going to
but,
get through, I guess.
Yeah, XBLA, like they had like two different segments, like splitting up the, obviously the main arc, the indie games, like and the user based ones, like the really small ones, and split them up. And some of the arcade ones were really good. Indie ones were.
That's what I say. Yeah, the arcade one wasn't necessarily indie. There was some indie stuff in there, but then there was also stuff that had publishers as well.
Yeah.
As you say, like Ubisoft and whatnot. People, they could put out they like smaller titles from the bigger developers and bigger publishers. If they just had a small project they wanted to put out, they could do that on the arcade. Whereas the Xbox Live indie games section was genuinely the self-serve kind of thing. It's like, if you've got a product and you want to put it on our store, here, do it. Yeah, we don't care. It wasn't really filtered in any way, shape, or form. It was not. I presume there must have been some kind of standards policy. Someone must have gone through to make sure people weren't just straight up putting up games about porn on there or whatnot. But
yeah, I think that guy from Scar Studios, the guy that I made a game with zombies in it.
Oh yeah, another one.
That was a really good indie.
That was one of the few really good titles on the Xbox Live indie games. Yeah, that's what a lot of people quote.
Dishwasher Samurai as well.
That's their other title, isn't it? I've not played that one.
Yeah, pretty good platformer. Brutal.
They were. I don't know whether it ever launched. I can't recall. But last I heard, they were working on Charlie Murder, which was a game that was in development longer than Scott Pilgrim, but looked almost exactly like Scott Pilgrim, and that was like 2, maybe 3 years ago now, and I've not heard anything about that, so I don't know whatever happened with that. I don't know whether that launched or not. There was a reference to Charlie Murder in, what was it called? Always Sometimes Monsters. There was a reference in there, but I don't know whatever happened to the game. I never did hear about that one.
I remember the Dishwasher made like a sequel to that, and like that was like cooperative. Right. Went from a single player to a cooperative.
Fair enough. I'm going to look up Scar Studios just because I'm interested as to what they've done.
Oh dear.
More Googling, live, on air, because why the hell not?
You should put Google as the third the fourth person in there.
Button Mash Podcast presented to you by Google.
Google does make many an appearance.
It is apparently out on Xbox Live Arcade. You can get it. I guess it never made it onto any other formats then, and that's probably why I never heard about it, because I'm not on Xbox anymore. So
this could be a very good transition.
Could it?
Because you've just said a game that wasn't released on any other platform, so this could tie into the next segment.
Okay, I'm not sure how, but okay. Let's do some game releases for the week.
Did you not really see what I was trying to do there?
No, I didn't. What were you trying to do?
I don't know. It was like a segue, but it hasn't worked. Now I feel awkward and very self-conscious.
Failed segue. What were you trying to do? Was it? I presume we're talking about game releases, because what else do we talk about?
No, I was trying to get into the segue into the game releases, but it hasn't worked.
I don't see what that's got to do with exclusive platforms and things, but...
Well, you said that it hadn't been released on any other platform, so I was trying to get it to do the segue of, well, let's see what's out this week on other platforms.
Because it was a release in the...
Yeah,
the word release.
Okay.
Suneil told me I'm pretty.
Well, that killed it. Well done, you've ruined the podcast. Let's go home.
I'm weeping.
Let's do some video game releases for this week.
And now, new game releases.
Okay. We have The Evil Within, which we did need Will here for, because he's been really looking forward to this one for a long time, I think.
Yeah, he may have mentioned it a couple of times.
So that's going to be out on Tuesday, so you can pick that up then if you have not already. If you're Will, presumably you already have it, or have pre-ordered it and whatnot. That's the thing. That's that's the one where he's going on about like the guy with the chainsaw that chases you around. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, it's a horror game, and there's a guy with a chainsaw who pops up at random moments and stabs you with a chainsaw when you're least expecting it. So that sounds like fun.
It's like the Nemesis from Resident Evil.
I don't know that one, so okay.
Yeah,
I'll take your word on
basically
it.
in the Resident Evil series, you have like this one guy with like a massive rocket launcher chasing you, like a bloody hybrid god. I don't know. It's like
Okay, fair enough.
I think it's got one of the designers in the game as well.
I'm sure.
It could be. I mean,
Yeah.
oftentimes, yeah, if studios change up or lose people or whatever, they'll often go and work on similar-ish products. So yeah, it could be.
I'm sure Will will give us a detailed account of it in the coming weeks.
I'm sure we'll hear all about it next week. Yes, no doubt. We have a game that doesn't even have box art, so that's inspiring. For the PlayStation 3, we have Tears to Tiara 2: Heir of the Overlord, which has okay, it does have box art when you click on it. That looks Japanesey.
Anime.
The views of the Bottom Mash host.
It's the box art is another one of those ones where they've just gone, hey, Final Fantasy's got a pretty good logo style, let's do that.
So anime style, basically.
And then
it's a Final Fantasy game.
And then, yes, I presume hopefully that's what they're going for. It's like, people might think it's a Final Fantasy game and then buy it. It is some manner of JRPG, yes.
Just imagine buying it going, oh, it's a Final Fantasy game, then 20 minutes in, wait a minute.
There's no chocobos!
Where's
my
cactuses?
Trying to find screenshots for it. Look, click on images and there's just like 7 photographs of the front of the cover photo.
Yes, I saw that. I was like, here's a shot of the PS3 box art, here's a shot of the PS4 box art. Yeah, they're the same. Thanks, guys. In fact, it's not even that. There are just 4 shots of the PS3 box art.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
There you go, indeed.
Also, on Tuesday we have Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition, which I guess is
Another
DLC and whatnot, yeah.
I think it's just got all the DLCs included into it.
It
I think
has-
they've released that with on Steam already, but
It's been out on Steam for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
it's just
Yeah,
for
it's-
new gen consoles. Probably not decent.
it says it's out. It's the version for the Bone and the PS4. So presumably it comes with it's shinier and newer and been done up a bit. Hopefully, we've had a couple of years to work on it. So yeah, hopefully it's a little bit prettier. And would hope it comes with all the DLC they've released over the years. That would probably be nice as well in a definitive edition.
I've got that for Steam.
Sorry.
I've got the Sleeping Dogs.
All right.
I touched it. I just one day I saw it for like £3, so I was like, ooh.
It has been on sale a lot, and I've heard it recommended a lot, and every time I'm like, should I get that? And I'm like, no, I will never play it. It's one of those things I will buy and never play. I can see it is, so no, I just won't bother.
I can see that. I could play it.
We also have on PS4 and PlayStation Vita Nidhogg.
Nidhogg?
Nidhogg, which is a 2D pixel art fencing game, which is really, really kind of simple, but really brutally brutal. Yeah, you can jump and stab each other and throw swords at each other, but if you throw your sword, you don't have a sword anymore, so you better hit your target. It's kind of cool.
You can like roll over and snap the neck as well. You know, like basically roll into them, you dive, and you can snap the neck when they're disarmed.
All right. Okay.
Oh, you can do the dive kick as well.
Type kick.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that is a thing.
If you don't have Nidhogg and want to try it, I believe we will have it at Button Mash 9 next week.
What date is that taking place?
That is on Saturday, the 18th of October at the New Bradford Playhouse.
Thank you for encouraging my Segway addiction.
You've got a problem, man. You need help.
Never.
I shouldn't be encouraging you.
Oh dear.
But anyway, yeah, that's a fun one. Do we have that one in the? We might have that one in the mashup tournament, I think. Again,
right.
giving people a bit of an exclusive if they watch our podcast and an incentive to do so. Yeah, if you're planning to take part in our tournaments, I think we've got Nidhogg, haven't we?
Yeah.
Remind me.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we put Nidhogg down.
Yeah, I
on the
got
list.
it. I got it. No worries.
Okay, cool. So yeah,
Exciting times.
that's cool. We have Borderlands, the pre-sequel. So that's something.
Borderlands 1.5.
What's the difference between a pre-sequel and a sequel?
It's in between. We went through this before the podcast.
They did Borderlands, then they did a sequel to Borderlands, which was Borderlands 2. So a pre-sequel apparently comes before the sequel, but after the first game, which makes it a pre-sequel, I guess.
Okay, that makes perfect sense.
Also, I don't know if there's an established term for doing that, or maybe that's why they've tried to coin a term, but it's a really stupid term.
I think that was the intention, though.
Probably. I mean, it is Borderlands, but I don't know. I feel like it should be like a mid-call or something.
There's probably an actual term for it.
And there should probably be an actual literary term for doing that, yes, but I don't know what it is, or film or whatever. They can't. They surely can't be the first franchise in history to have inserted a game in between two, or inserted a title in between two previously existing titles, chronologically speaking.
Mm.
I mean, I suppose technically speaking, what's Star Wars Episode 3? It's a pre-sequel to Star Wars Episode 4?
They noted it as a saga to begin with, though, didn't they?
Prequel saga, isn't it?
I don't know what it is. But yeah, there's kind of a different thing. Either way, yeah, if you like Borderlands, I imagine it's going to be more of the same, because the second one was more of the same of the first one, so...
Yeah, they've just added a few new mechanics, like you've got like you use oxygen now, and you can use that oxygen up for like a slam move.
Okay.
So you can, if you basically you're on the moon in lower gravity, so you basically float everywhere, and you can use oxygen up to do extra damage or something and slam downwards on you. So that's included. I haven't really been paying attention that much to it.
No, well, I was talked into buying. Yeah, I was talked into buying the second one, and only ever played like half an hour of it. So I'm not.
I bet you're a bit
I don't think I'm going to be
salty.
picking this one up.
Paid full price for it as well.
No, it was during a winter sale, so I paid like 10 quid for it. So someone was like, "Hey, it's really cheap. We should buy it and we can play through it together." I was like, "Okay, sure." And then we played like half an hour, and we never finished it. So, yeah. So I'm really, I wasn't kind of interested in the first place, because all the reviews just said it's more of the same, and it's like, well, I played through the first one twice already, so I'm kind of burned out on it. I've done all the things.
Yeah.
I farmed a lot of guns. I'm done with farming guns. Thanks. It was great. I don't need more of it. See you later.
People are just hooked on that.
Yeah, well, it's a formula that works. I mean, look at
like a form of gambling, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It's your Skinner box formula, isn't it? Keep mashing up things until a bigger gun pops out, and then use that until you get a bigger gun. But because it obviously works, because look at the Diablo formula and whatnot. But at the same time,
it's like with Destiny, that's apparently the opposite. Well, and it still works.
Really?
Well, with Borderlands are basically guns. Guns are like ample amount everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Destiny is just extremely difficult to get the guns in.
Oh, is it? Okay.
And that just makes people want to grind even more, apparently.
Is this why we have loot caves and stuff?
Yeah, that's been patched, apparently.
Well, they keep finding them, so yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's going to happen as well. Break the code.
I'll say there is like a third one now, and all for some again, perhaps indicative of the quality of news outlets these days. But everyone jumps on it with a story. It's like, look, someone broke Destiny in an entirely different way that lets you cheat and get lots of crap for nothing. It's like, this is not news. This is what is this? You are not reporting on news here. This is terrible.
It's recent. I don't know.
It's not informative in the slightest. It's worthless.
Plug. Just news.
Mm-hmm.
Something new.
We have Minecraft PlayStation Vita Edition, which obviously I did mention briefly earlier. I guess this is where I saw it. Yes, Minecraft PlayStation Vita Edition is out on the PlayStation Vita this week, which doesn't state it as being Pocket Edition, so it sounds like it's something entirely different to all the other versions. So I don't know what's different, but I imagine there'll be like a different brick somewhere.
dear.
I don't know.
A V is pretty powerful. I've played on my brother's like quite a few times, and it's got like some really decent games on it.
Fair enough.
It's like Dragon's Dogma looks like really nice, and
I don't know much about that one. I think I've only ever heard the name. I don't really know what it is. So
it's the one with the it's just like a platformer, RPG platformer.
okay.
It's the ones with the massive boobs and ass.
Oh, that one. Oh, right. Yes.
Witches,
okay.
witchcraft.
Is that one? Okay. I thought it had a.
Oh no,
something else.
Oh no, I'm getting confused. Dragon's Dogma is something else.
I'll say it was Dragons. I don't know what it was. The Dragon something.
Something.
Yeah, no, I know exactly which one you mean with the tits, because that was the story of the tits.
Oh, good
It
game.
did lead an interesting life.
Good hack and slash platformer.
I mean, I did see some footage of that, and again, the game with the tits, not the Dogma. That's hilarious, because when the woman jumps into the air, her arse actually grows bigger when she jumps, which is hilarious. The animation in that is insane.
It's like,
She's already got some
so.
comically, ridiculously caricatured huge arse to begin with, but then when she jumps in the air, it balloons.
yeah,
It's like, why did you do that? What the hell?
Well, all gamers are misogynists. You should know this by now.
Well, true, but even still, there are standards of beauty, and then there are inflating arses.
Oh well.
Just saying.
Let's move on.
Let's move on. For the 3DS, we have Pets Beach,
Which looks fun.
which I'm sure we're all excited about.
Not quite as excited as the game next to it.
Yes. Well, Pets Beach presumably continues in the tradition of raising puppies and kittens, and by looks of the box art, penguins. And presumably we can do them on a beach. Presumably we can do it on a beach this time instead of in your home. So that's an exciting new iteration to the formula.
Yep.
The next game, as you rightly point out, is Duck Dynasty,
Based on the TV show?
based on the TV show that I've never seen, but it's out on all
the
things.
platforms. I've noticed that.
Which
It's
should keep Microsoft happy at least anyway. So that is out on your DS, that's on 360, it's on the Bone, it's on PS3, PS4, and on PC all on the same day.
Don't forget to mention on the 360 there's the Duck Dynasty GameStop exclusive Duck Deluxe
I was
edition.
just going to say, as regards another point we touched on earlier, if you buy it from GameStop, there's an exclusive deluxe edition that you can't get anywhere else because GameStop are dicks.
Not an exclusive
The
deluxe
ducks.
edition, an exclusive Duck Deluxe edition.
Duck Deluxe, yes, it's not even deluxe, it's Duck Deluxe. Yeah. I don't know what this is.
How many people are
It's
going to be buying the exclusive Duck edition?
presumably Americans who have access to a GameStop, because God knows we don't, so we can't even
I don't
buy
know,
the
it's-
Duck Deluxe if we wanted.
I haven't seen this program. Or
Nope,
it's
I
about
haven't either.
No,
what is it? Hunting ducks,
I don't
calling
know.
ducks.
I know when we came to do my I'm going through Steam and seeing what's new and interesting this week, I explicitly didn't put this on the list because it looked so bad, but I think it's one of those really bad American reality TV shows that just follow, I guess, like rednecks around and just watch them doing shit. I mean,
Yeah, I
okay,
think
so go
you're
on to the page. Yeah, on the page. The game features various different game modes, such as the main story mode, duck shooting galleries, and airboat racing. So it's a redneck simulator. So
Wow.
yeah, it's. I mean, the only thing in that kind of genre I've ever seen on TV, and not to any great extent, is lizard lick towing. I feel like it's that kind of TV. If you're familiar with that one in the slightest,
No.
which is a TV show about a bunch of rednecks whose entire career is towing cars that are parked illegally, and people are very generally pretty unhappy about it because we're talking about redneck country. So there's a lot of people chasing down people and waving guns at each other and generally being really obnoxious
I'd watch that.
for reality TV. Yeah, it's reality TV, isn't it? It's
The Duck Dynasty.
I don't know if it's like that kind of staged reality TV. There's probably an element of that in there, but they're also rednecks. They're probably fairly insane. Just saying. The views of the Button Mash host.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the drill at this point.
Oh, now that we've offended all the rednecks, Let's move on.
I'm sure they are our core audience.
You never know.
We also have Senran Kagura Shinobi Versus. Shall I say it?
Yep.
It's a bit
could you sing it?
Japanesey.
Nothing wrong with that.
It's I don't know what this is. Is this a fighting game? It sounds like it's a fighting.
I like the Let's Get Physical limited edition version, which I'm assuming
Yes.
features Olivia Newton-John or something.
Well, in true Japanese style, it's the description of the game is the busty ninja girls of Senran Kagura come to the Vita. Obviously, yeah, primary selling feature right there. Second word in the
I don't really
sentence.
need to know anything else.
Yes, you can see what the selling point of the game is. So that is a side-scrolling brawler, Dynasty Warriors inspired hack and slash gameplay on full 3D battlefields, apparently. So if you wanted Dynasty Warriors with tits, I think is what it is.
Isn't that Arch? Whatever it is.
Sorry? What? Archblade are you thinking of?
Yeah.
No, that was a multiplayer title.
Oh, yeah. Forgot.
Or there's been a few Arch type things lately, but I don't know why. Archblade was big on the tits. I won't give you that. I will give you that. They did have some.
As well.
It was hack and slash, but it was multiplayer hack and slash. It was like 7v7 player multiplayer arena hack and slashy with capture points and shit. If it wasn't quite so obnoxiously obsessed with tits, it would have actually been a pretty solid title. I mean, I appreciate them as much as the next man, but the game shouldn't be entirely revolving around them. There should be some other mechanics in there other than, hey, look, we have tits.
Wow, I'm just seeing the screenshots now. Like,
which one are we looking at? Senran Kagura or
Senran
Archblade?
Kagura.
Right.
There's like schoolgirls like ripped tops and.
It's a bit Japanesey, yes.
Yeah.
Turning Japanese.
All needs is some mechs.
There are, oh my god, I hadn't even looked at the screenshots. There are actually schoolgirls with their tits sticking out through their ripped tops. Gamers aren't, oh my god, there are actually ones where the clothes fall off. It's actually like that other game we were talking about where the people's clothes fall off. Like, you know the one. God damn it, Japan! Stop doing this!
I know. That's another one.
That's not what I was thinking of, but yeah. Gamers are not misogynists,
That's actually
right?
supposed to be a really good game.
I have heard it has a fairly positive reception, in spite of it being a strange God of War in which it's a woman whose clothes fall off when she attacks, which is, I suppose, all anyone ever wanted from God of War.
A girl with the longest fucking limbs ever.
Yes.
Cruise.
We also have Peggle 2 for the PS4, which I'm pretty sure has already been out on other stuff for a little while. I think Peggle 2's on Origin already, is it not? Yeah, it said released September 2013, so yeah. It's been out for a year or so now. It's now out on PS4. If you're really holding off for your Peggle fix to play it on the PS4, then now is your opportunity. Congratulations, your day is upon you.
I like Peggle.
Peggle, it was pretty... Yeah, it was pretty okay. It's... The thing is with PopCap is they really know the psychology of what makes a game addictive. If you've ever read like an interview with anyone at PopCap and seen like their design philosophies and stuff, the way they design even all the sound effects, all the visuals and stuff, it's all designed just to make you want to go, okay, one more shot, let me just play once more, just have another go. And it's just, yeah, it's kind of, it plays into people's addictions. It's if it were done by a more amoral company, it would be terrible. You'd end up with Candy Crush.
Oh dear.
Which is interesting because I would say Candy Crush damn near ripped off Bejeweled, but actually no, I think at first I always thought it was Bejeweled, but I guess it ripped off something else and then sued them for using the same name, which was, god damn it, games industry. Just god damn it. God damn it, King. God damn it, games industry.
Oh dear.
We have The Walking Dead Season 1, which has obviously already been out for a while and had fairly positive reception. This is out on PS4. You can get that on PS4 if you've been, again, holding out on it for that. That's Telltale's modern take on the point-and-click genre.
Yeah.
as a part of the Walking Dead franchise, which is a popular franchise, and I don't think I've ever actually played any of the new Telltale stuff. I think the last Telltale thing I played, and not that I disliked it, I did quite like it, was their take on Back to the Future, which was pretty decent, but it was still the old-fashioned rub object X on object Y and see if the door opens kind of format of things. And The Walking Dead and what's the other one? The Wolf Among Us are supposed to be like a totally different new point and click that's for the modern age or something. I've not played either of them, and I really should get round to doing one of them at some stage. They're supposed to be quite good.
More emphasis on like story and character development, isn't it? Like,
yeah, like I say, with a lot of the old school style stuff. Even if it's something like Back to the Future, where it's 3D, a full 3D world and whatnot, it's just still find object X and rub it on everything else you can see until it opens a door somewhere. It's massive trial and error and trying to get into the developer's mindset. Whereas with stuff like The Wolf Among Us, as you say, it's a lot more narrative driven, and then there's also apparently like decisions that are like split second. It's like, okay, you now need to choose who lives and who dies. Here, you got 5 seconds to pick. It's like, oh, okay.
I like Freddy.
Yes, exactly. I don't know what happens if you don't pick. I presume there's like a third choice which just counts as you didn't pick in time. Everybody dies now or something.
Right.
I don't know. Either way, it sounds like a cool thing. I've not read The Walking Dead or seen the show, so I don't know whether. Yeah, I was gonna say with the game, I've heard tell it's set in the same like universe, but it's not really related to the others. So I think it can be enjoyed independently. But I don't know. I've not experienced the Walking Dead thing before, so I don't know whether I should be looking to pick it up or not. The Wolf Among Us, though, is obviously a completely unique and original thing, entirely unto itself, so I should really look into that at some stage, I guess. Next title looks interesting. On the Wii U, we have Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures 2.
It seems slightly appealing.
There was number one.
What is this? Yeah, what is this?
Can we just have Pac-Man?
I was going to say, it also sounds like it's gone a bit Sonic-y at some stage, and I can't say I've really followed the development of Pac-Man over the years. I thought it had stayed fairly constant, but apparently the tagline for this, or the blurb, is Pac, Spiral, and Cylindria continue their spectral escapades in this sequel as they defend Pac-World from the ghoulish army of Lord Betrayus. I know, right?
Can we get this? This sounds awesome.
It's coming out on the 14th, so you can play it at the event.
Okay,
that's if you want to purchase it.
It's out on PS. It says on PS3, but I think I don't know. One page says PS3, the other one says Xbox 360, 3DS, and Wii U as well. So I don't know which ones it's out for when, but should be out. The PS3 one should be out this week, I guess. If you're really desperate to play with Spiral and Cylindria.
I just want to fight Lord Betrayus.
Obviously, doesn't everyone? Which is what a name, for Christ's sake. You couldn't come up with anything better than Betrayus. Really?
Someone shrugging. That'll do.
Yeah, that'll be right. That'll be fine, yeah. We have Lone Survivor, which is it's out on the Wii U and PS4. That is a game that's already been out on PC for a couple of years now, in fact. A psychological horror game by Jasper Byrne, who developed the game almost single-handedly. Psychological 2D adventure game, and I think it's a very narrative-heavy thing. Kind of a bit artsy-fartsy. Probably the sort of thing I should have played by now, but I don't know why I haven't. I'm pretty sure I own it, to be honest. I've never gotten around to playing it, but it does seem like my kind of thing.
Yeah.
Cool.
We also have another one that, again, doesn't have artwork, but In Space We Brawl, which actually sounds like a really cool name.
Sounds pretty simplistic.
I'll meet you in space.
A competitive local multiplayer dual-stick shooter with highly customizable spaceships. I'm sold. I like that. There are no pictures. There's not even a box art. There's nothing other than the name In Space We Brawl and a two-line sentence. That's all I know about it, but I like the sound of it. I'll give it that.
Oh, if you're feeling like a gamble.
That's on PS3 and PS4, so yes. competitive local multiplayer dual-stick shooter with customizable spaceships. Be Still My Beating Heart.
You in love?
It sounds like a very cool concept. I'm going to have a look at that at a later date. Yeah. We have Best of Board Games on the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita.
That sounds thrilling.
Which is exactly what you'd think it is. It is a compendium of solitaire and mahjong and chess and blah 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 blah. Yeah. We have Legend of Grimrock 2 on PC, which is the sequel to Legend of Grimrock. In case you didn't realise that one.
Thank you. I needed that.
Yeah. To be entirely fair, there's actually not a lot of information on it. Yeah, that's actually the description of it.
I just clicked on it. I was like, the sequel to the original Legend of Grimrock.
That's all the page says. The sequel to the original Legend of Grimrock. That's all I've got on it. Yeah. Presumably people who were fans of the original might enjoy this. I didn't actually play the original, so I don't really know much about it, and the page is not prepared to give me much information. There's no description. There's like 4 not particularly interesting screenshots, box art, and specifications. Thanks, guys. Helpful. So
that's how I normally determine what a game is going to be like, by the screenshots. Yep.
Well, I personally I go off the system requirements. Yeah.
Like Doom.
We have Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance, which I'm wondering if this is a re-release just given the sheer number of...
Is.
Yeah, I'd
There's
say
Aria of Sorrow as well, I think, coming out the same week.
Was that not... I thought we did that... Did we not do that one last week, or was that a different one?
Not really.
Oh no, it is below. Yes, they are clearly going through the Castlevania back
Yeah,
catalog.
they're just releasing it on the marketplace for the Wii U.
It's all going on the Wii U Virtual Console.
Yeah, that's right.
So the second Game Boy Advance Castlevania game, Harmony of Dissonance, on the Virtual Console. Whilst we're on it, Harvest Moon 2 for the Game Boy Color is on the 3DS marketplace.
3DS.
Well, I think E means it's the... Yeah. Oh, is that what they're calling the new one?
I think so, yeah.
No, it's the 3DS eShop, I think is what 3DSe is.
Oh, right,
Yeah, it is their downloadable content titles.
Oh, you're calling the new one. Forgot.
So, yeah, this is a game that looks a lot like Pokemon, to be honest. I suppose it's similar kind of thing from a similar kind of era. Yeah, this is from 1999.
Bloody
Like
heck.
Harvest Moon. That could be a thing, I suppose. We have Paper Monsters Recut for the Wii U. In a world made of paper, monsters are afoot. Time to defeat them in this 2D side-scrolling platformer.
Where's Mario?
Which is a remake of a mobile title titled Paper Monsters. So there you go. That's somebody porting it across. They won't get on the Xbox platform because they didn't release it there first. Naughty. Just saying. Castlevania Aria of Sorrow, as you say, is the third Castlevania installment for the GBA. So
There's a following. That's probably why I'm releasing.
I'm sure, yeah, it's probably, as I say, the first one I did play and I quite enjoyed that, so I'm sure there's an interest in that kind of thing. They'll sell some copies, and even if they don't sell some copies, it doesn't cost them anything to list it there, which is why they're doing it, to be honest.
Yeah, I played Symphony of the Night on that Harmony of Despair, the multiplayer one for the... that was broken. That's what it were. Multiplayer was just full of, like... I'm not going to say it. The Japanese insane people that just basically start off in the game like multiplayer. It's like 8 players, I think, or 6, and you can just go through the level yourselves. But they just speed run the entire level, just collecting all the stuff on the way. Well, everyone gets like their own stuff from chests, so yeah. So it basically just lasts like 30 seconds, and you collect all the loot and everything, and the boss is dead by the time you reach the first like area, because they mod some people mod their controls for Harmony of Despair, so you can move faster, and like somehow you can attack faster if you somehow have like a turbo button or something like that. Because then, like with the attacks, you can do like more than one attack. Like if you're in the air, like if you're in the air and on the floor, you can attack twice as fast. The timing in between that, something like that. It's very confusing. I remember me and Johnny played on it. It was like broken. That's probably why I haven't released any multiplayer versions of Castlevania games.
Yeah, it seems like a weird kind of title to try and shoehorn multiplayer into, to be honest. It was always about the single player, hunt crazy cool shit.
It's cool. I like the setting for it.
Anyway, let's do some Steam releases.
Yeah.
We had a little bit of overlap to what we already had, because obviously our release lists tend to overlap. Some are on... Steam's going to be all the PC releases, but the other list has some PC on it, so yeah. Anyway, we have One Heart, which is a game I can't really figure... We've watched the trailer, we've looked at the page, can't figure out a lot about it.
Yeah, it's confusing.
Yeah, it's a horror thing. It's do you enjoy challenging games? Do you like fear? Do you miss good old school games? If you answered yes to any of these questions, One Heart might be a perfect game for you to try, is what they've got to say on it. And it doesn't really tell you much about it beyond that. There's a lot of weird artwork, and it's apparently got hard puzzles in it, atmosphere, and there's a bit where it says it's creating One Heart. We thought about our kids. That's actually what it says. Who are legally stolen by officials and bureaucrats from Germany, Norway, or Poland.
How did this actually get through Steam?
Probably Greenlight. That's how most things get on Steam these days. It's almost undoubtedly going to be a Greenlight title. Sorry.
Yeah.
Clearly, it's got a bit of a following somewhere, and people have gone yay and clicked on it, and yeah, it's got through Greenlight, and it's here now, and those people will be very happy to see it, I'm sure.
Very anticlimactic.
Well, we have The Evil Within, but we already touched on that one again. Will have much more for us to say on that one next week, I think. We have... Was that... I'm looking through this. Which ones was it? Raven's Cry? Was that the one?
Is that the one you're interested in?
It is, yes. I for some reason have I not written that down on my list. That's crazy. Because I was really interested in this one. Oh, that's because it
says October, but it's coming out in November.
On one page, it's like, it'll be out this week. The other one says it's out end of November. So yes, we'll talk about it end of November, no doubt. But that one looks really interesting to me. We have Duck Dynasty, obviously.
Yay!
Sure. What have we actually got on this list? Let me check my other... Comparing the two lists is kind of odd. So, yeah, we've got The Evil Within, Borderlands pre-sequel, we've got Deep Dungeons of Doom, which is... it says on my list Wonderbots once it says. I guess it's a Wonderbotsy kind of thing. It seems to be in the same kind of vein as something like your Shovel Knight. It's a old school pixel art style, side-scrolling RPG-ish hack and slashy type thing, I guess. I'm getting a Shovel Knight kind of vibe from it.
I think that it's not like a scroller. It's just like static, like not static.
Is it?
Like seems like you're on like one or two screens at a given time.
Oh, maybe
10-based. I don't know.
Oh yeah, it could be. Yeah, it's you're looking at it. It seems almost like it's got elements of like a choose-your-own-adventure novel kind of thing.
Yeah.
You kind of got lots of dialogue and scenes, and then there's options to pick from, and I don't know, maybe. It's a little bit speculative, but seems like it has a potential to be kind of interesting. I would be interested to see kind of what it actually does do.
Love that art style. Ooh.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting looking thing. Yeah, it's kind of cool. We have also, again, Legends of Grimrock 2. I suppose Steam might actually be able to tell us a bit more about it than the other one, if we wanted to go touch on that one again. It's a dungeon-crawling rogue role-playing game with modern execution but an old-school heart. It's a very pretty-looking game. It's probably not the prettiest-looking game, but it definitely doesn't look bad. It's pretty decent, and they've got a nice deal where you can pick up the first one for a few quid if you want it as well. So that's actually not bad if you wanted to actually check out the whole thing.
Sounds good.
add like £3 onto it and get both of them together. So there's an emphasis on some puzzles and exploration and survival as well, more so than the combat, I think. So all sorts of stuff going on there. It's like Skyrim with puzzles. Let's call it that.
Seems
I've nothing to base that on, but I'm calling it that.
Oh dear.
We have A City Sleeps, which looks pretty. I like that one. It looks really good. Aside from the artwork they've got on the box and even in the game, it's all very bright colours, neon, bold lines and visuals. It's very striking. That's what it is. It's by Harmonix of all people. It's launching just like an indie game. It's like a little cheap £10 indie title on Steam. But yeah, it's Harmonix, i.e., the Rock Band guys, and they've done this. It's apparently a musical thing. It's apparently got a soundtrack's reasonably important to it, but it's not beat matching or anything. It's a side-scrolling shooter, apparently. Screenshots don't make it look a lot like one, but it calls it that, which means I shall probably have to check this out, because, yeah, that's kind of my jam. And Harmonix know their stuff. They're a pretty good team. They made Rock Band, after all. So I would be very interested to check this one out. I shall be getting in touch with them now that I know that exists.
Oh dear.
There's also Fear Online. Has anyone played any of the Fear games? Because God knows I haven't.
No, I can't say I have.
Yeah.
No.
Suneil?
No. I've heard of it. That's why.
Entertainingly enough, I just spotted the logo. Oh, playing audio again. Thank you, Steam. Nice design choice. I quite like that I spotted at the start of the trailer. That's Iria Games.
No.
Relevant to things.
Oh dear.
Which was my reason to be in Germany, yes. So, yeah, this is... I suppose I should really know a little bit more about it than I do then, but yeah, there you go. This is a Fear Online, a multiplayer installment online of Fear. I guess if you played Fear, you might know a bit more about it than we do. Not really sure what it is.
It's quite an old game, isn't it?
I always thought Fear was one of those very heavily single-player focused titles. So
yeah. I think it wasn't it? Like a horror FPS.
Yeah, horror FPS-y kind of thing. I thought it was maybe a bit more tactical than anything else, but I don't really know.
Yeah, I think you're like the squad that investigates like supernatural like occurrences, and this one time you just...
Yeah, I mean, I think I only remember this from like a Penny Arcade comic. Doesn't it stand for First Encounter Assault Recon or something? Which is like it's a ridiculous mouthful and an insane concept. But yeah, it's kind of assault recon squad going in to investigate paranormal stuff, which seems like a really weird concept to try and translate to a multiplayer. But I guess they've had a go at it. There you go. That is available.
Unless one side's like the supernatural.
I also note that actually we have included that in there, and actually that one doesn't actually does it have a hard release date on it? Oh, it does 17th, yes. On one page it doesn't have a release date, and the other it does. Also on the same day we've got F1 2014, which seems like an odd one when we think about how sports games and that sort of thing tend to work. They usually tend to put the game of that year out the year before, so like the 2014 game usually comes out in 2013 with sports games and things. As you say, NBA 2015 just came out. It's not 2015 yet.
Yeah, they normally do the future like.
Yeah, so it seems like they're leaving it really, really late in the year to release the 2014 edition of this game. But yeah, whatever. So yes, if you're into your Formula One, presumably this is going to be a thing that was going to be of interest to you. If you're not into your Formula One, this is probably not going to be of interest to you. It's one of those kind of titles.
Hmm.
There's not much more to say about it than that, I think.
Yeah,
I'm not into racing. I'm not particularly into Formula One. I'm not well qualified to speak on the strengths and weaknesses of the franchise as a whole, to be honest.
I thought you were going to be an expert.
I'm afraid not. No such thing. But that'll just about do us for releases for the week, though. That's kind of everything noteworthy worth touching on. Would you like to wrap us up?
Yep, sure. Why not? Right. As we've mentioned, thank you very much for listening. And if you didn't pick up the subtle hint at the start of the episode, we're having an event next Saturday at the new Bradford Playhouse called Butter Mash 9, because we're creative like that.
Yep.
And again, as we described, we're going to have rock band, we're going to have gaming consoles, we're going to have tournaments, cosplay, everything that you would want and need at an event.
And you can come in for free if you're dressed as a potato.
And you get a keyring if you know every Catholic song.
Yeah.
And yep, if you want more information on our event, you can find that out at our Facebook page, which is John.
Facebook.com/button mash.
And for updates on everything that we're doing, you can follow us on Twitter at
Twitter.com/button_mash_UK.
If you wish to see John play some games and get his general view on how life is going, you can follow him on his YouTube channel at
youtube.com/buttonmashempire.
And you can find us at Steam at
bit.ly. Wait, hang on. It's not. I was going to say bit.ly.com, isn't it? It's not. It's bit.ly. Bits.ly.
so well.
I know. I screwed that one up.
It's
Bit.ly bit.ly/BM Steam.
Well,
imagine if you had to do the Creo.
Yeah, the curator thing's a long string of numbers and things. So
Well, no,
yeah, it's not one that rolls off the tongue. So I can't just say, oh, you can find us at Steam/user/curator/052. Yeah, that doesn't work.
2 hours later.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for listening to us. For myself, thank you. For John.
Thank you.
And for Suneil.
Thank you. See you.
This has been the Butter Mash Podcast, and we will see you next week. Thank you very much.
Bye.